by 3.
Don't give up any fouls.
Hayward all the way, misses, taken by Randall. Bryant ahead with 7 seconds. Clarkson, the Lakers are going to win it. The Lakers are going to win it.
What a performance. What an exit for number 24. You couldn't have written this.
You are watching one of the greatest performances in the history of this game because of what it means, the significance of one of its greatest stars saying goodbye. Here it is.
Kobe Bryant.
Utah will inbound the ball. There are 4 seconds remaining. It's into Lyles. It's on its way. The game is over. And Kobe Bryant, final memory for us is a 60-point game and a victory over the Utah Jazz.
And that was Kobe Bryant's final game. How unbelievable. Do you know how hard it is to get 60 points in one game? Man was a beast, and we've been taking time today to remember the life and legacy of one of the greatest to ever dribble the ball, Kobe Bryant. Tragically died 1 week ago, tomorrow, Southern California, due to fog conditions in a helicopter crash, along with 7 other people, or total 9 people died, along with his daughter, who was very much a basketball fan and the future Mamba, if you will. And her nickname was Mamboette. I believe that's what it was, but he had just recently trademarked that for his daughter. She was mentored in by one of the greatest, Tamika Catchings, with the Indiana Fever. She wanted to attend Connecticut Husky basketball. She was honored by Connecticut this week, and they set up a scholarship fund in her name to honor her. So she will always be remembered at the University of Connecticut, even though she never went. And let's not forget the other people that tragically lost their life. Coach, wife. There was a coach, and there was the mother, and just some other miscellaneous people. I'm sorry I don't have their list, and that's my fault for not having that. But there were others that died in that crash. It was due to fog conditions, and we can probably look at things that happened. Maybe it could have been avoided. I mean, there's a lot of things we could say. Kobe was very well known for taking his helicopter, the Mamba. It was his own personal helicopter. He had hired a private, although he has a pilot's license and he can fly it, he often chose not to fly it as he hired his own private pilot. And, so the thing about it is, at the end of the day, foggy conditions are foggy conditions. The pilot has the ultimate say-so. The tower can advise and say, hey, we would advise you. And so I think there's a lot of things to look at there. He was trying to climb above the fog, the way that I understand it, just wasn't being reached by the radar. He unfortunately was flying way too low when he crashed. So it was just a tragic situation. I think it was just an accident, and we remember Kobe Bryant this week. Also, the passing of John Andretti, the nephew of the great Mario Andretti and the whole Andretti family. But as Tony alluded to and as Steve alluded to, John was a different kind of a guy. He was your everyday guy. He literally was your next door neighbor kind of guy. He was a guy you could just go up and talk to. He was a guy that if you did not know John Andretti, you would not know that he was an Andretti. Now, people like me that run in the circles that I certainly know who he is. And if you live here in Indianapolis and as a local guy, you probably know who he is. But if you were just going to the airport and pass him and never seen him in your life, you would probably never know who he is, who he was, or what he did. You would certainly know his uncles. You would certainly know his cousin. You would certainly know other Andretti family members. But even though he carried the namesake of Andretti, he was a true racer. I mean, he lived up to that name. But what we know about John Andretti is, and not that what we know, because we know a lot about John Andretti, but what we have come to love about John Andretti is the fact that he's just a normal guy, and he raised so much money for Riley. He raced for Riley, and I would encourage, and we'll try to get that up on social media, but I would encourage you to go check that out and donate a few bucks to that, because it really does help the kids out. And we've said this a few times on the show. Go get your colonoscopy done, especially if you're in your upper 40s. But it's never too early to get it done if you're a grown man, and if you're a father or a husband. It's never too early, but certainly if you're in your 40s and above, you need to go get that colonoscopy done. As we heard John talk about in the soundbite, that this could have been caught early, and it wasn't. And it wasn't because he didn't go get screened. So he blamed himself. Maybe that was not the right thing to do. You can't. Cancer has no name tags. It'll attack anybody. My uncle died of colon cancer. I think we all know somebody in our life that was affected by some sort of cancer. So all cancers are bad. But as we reflect on the life of John Andretti, we think about his words: go get your colonoscopy done. I had mine last year. Like I said, it's not a trip to Disney World. I freely admit that. But, one of the good things is that they didn't find anything with me. But I'm 52 years old. John was 56. I mean, so it's never too early to go have yourself checked out. And we've posted the hashtag get checked for John. I think I'm going by memory, but it's on our social media. Appreciate Melissa taking care of our social media for us and getting all that stuff up there for us. And then we're also remembering Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, and really a fun stat. We got it up on Twitter there, but a fun stat, if you will, between John Andretti and Kobe Bryant. They both, John drove both the 8 and 24 cars, and Kobe had both the 8 and 24 jerseys. And I thank you, Tony Donahue of the Tony D podcast, for telling me that, because I had no clue. So props to him on letting us know that. And I appreciate you allowing us to take some time today from our normal field, if you will, our normal way of doing things. I know this show's a little bit different than what you're used to. Tomorrow we'll be back with the Super Bowl specials, the big game. We'll have all that up and set. We've got a whole lineup of people that's going to be joining us. Kent Sterling from KentSterling.com. Tony D is going to join us. Ed's going to join us. So we got a lot of people joining us. Mo's going to join us. So we got a lot of people that's going to join us and talk about the Chiefs. We'll probably spend the first hour talking about the AFC or the NFC. We haven't decided yet, but in the second hour we'll do the other team. Certainly down in Miami. And maybe you're having a Super Bowl party. Not really having a Super Bowl party, but having a couple people over and going to make a spread of food. And, of course, we're going to have some drinkage going on. Maybe you should have put in for PTO on Monday. Am I the only one that's a big proponent of the Super Bowl being moved to Saturday? So a few final things here, and we'll be right back. A few final words from Kobe, and we'll be right back to wrap things up. It's hard to say goodbye to Kobe Bryant and John Andretti, but that's what we've tried to do today on the Balance Radio Network.
And the Lakers still have a lot of road games left to play.
But you have to think, the Lakers have got to be thinking a little bit differently as Carter knocks in a three. They've got to be thinking about having home court advantage all the way through the playoff and trying to catch Cleveland as Matt Barnes and Kobe Bryant say hello to each other.
Double technical foul on both of them. Still jarring a bit.
See, here's my problem taking a look at that. That's not a double technical foul. That's a technical foul on Matt Barnes afterwards coming towards. You punish the guy that's trying to be innocent and just playing hard basketball. I don't care if it's Kobe Bryant or whoever. That's a bad job calling both guys for technical foul.
It's hard to make a foul call. It's hard to... That's nothing, by the way. That's just... And this is nothing, by the way. That's just body contact until Barnes comes at it. But if they're not responsible for foul calls, which you said is hard, and double technical, what are they responsible for? As Ryan Duncan
throws it down.
You get rewarded in this world for what you get done.
Howard misses Barnes. A foul, and then Barnes gets to the Bryant face again. He's going to be gone, I think. Another technical foul on Barnes. Second one, you're automatically out.
You know, the thing they did miss as Barnes went to the body of Kobe Bryant after the dunk is Kobe Bryant.
Again, that's some live play-by-play action revolving Kobe around Kobe Bryant. My name's Tom Marcos, El Presidente. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at T-Balance, on Facebook, The Balance. We're going to do two things here real quickly, and then we will close out the show. Don't drink and drive. Didn't cool. I'm out of here, deuces. But as we end the show, we're going to play our tribute to both John Andretti and Kobe Bryant separately. My name's Tom Marcos, El Presidente. Thank you for joining us today.
We begin with heartbreaking news from the racing world about a member of one of the legendary families in auto sports.
Today, John Andretti lost his very public and hard-fought battle against colon cancer.
John was a racing veteran, a champion of sick children, and known as one of the nicest guys in the sport. Right now, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is paying tribute to John, lighting up the scoring pylon in his honor. It's a place he knew so well and raced many times. Sports director Dave First is here with more. Dave.
Hi, guys. Good evening. A racer at heart, a father, son, husband, dad, you name it, one of the most giving people you'll ever meet. The sports world is mourning the loss of Indy's own John Andretti tonight, who died today after a 3-year battle with colon cancer. You ask him, John Andretti, he was an IndyCar racer. Like his father Aldo, his uncle Mario. He competed in 12 Indy 500s. Nothing beat the years of 91 and 92 when he competed against Mario and cousins Michael and Jeff. His most success in racing really came in stock cars. First career win came at the July race out at Daytona, winning for the legendary Cale Yarborough, and later won for Richard Petty in Martinsville. But once his career on the track started slowing down, his career off it was picking up. With something called